Hello. Now we are going to look at some introductory information to how our maths classes are going to work. So our homework for our maths classes is going to look like the video that we're looking at right now. We are going to have sums done out on a page like this. There will basically never be this much English on the page, but the basic structure of the page, it will be like this for our maths videos. So the way that the videos are going to be used is as an introduction for homework. So what we're going to do is watch our videos. We'll see where we find them in a minute, but if we're going to watch the videos for homework, we're going to write down everything that appears on the screen, including graphs and pictures where relevant. We're going to write all of that down as notes. We're going to make sure that we have really well understood the methods that are covered in the video. And then we are going to practice those methods by doing several questions. So our homework for the class is going to be watch our maths video, make sure we've understood it and understood it well and that all of the methods are clear to us. We're going to write all of that down as notes. Everything that appears on the screen gets written down as neat notes, and then we're going to practice those methods from the videos by doing some questions. Then when we come into class, we've already got all of that introductory work done. We have a basic understanding of our methods. So then we're going to start immediately at the beginning of class. We're going to answer some questions. So before we've had any discussion, we're going to try and answer some questions, get our heads into the material that we got introduced to us in the videos. We're going to answer those questions on what's called a mini whiteboard, which is just a larger white page that allows us to check answers and talk to each other about our work. And we're going to work through several questions like that, where we are getting feedback and we're discussing why methods work, how it is that our sums are working out. So that's all based on the introduction that we get from the video and practicing beforehand with our questions. Then we build off of this introductory work in the classroom and build into more advanced questions where we'll link to other things we've already covered and really get to start mastering the ideas that we are working with on that day. And then finally, there'll be time for individual practice and individual feedback where we'll be working in our copybooks. You can see all of that builds off of the introduction that we get in homework. We do the video beforehand to introduce the idea. If we miss that step or if we don't do it well, then we don't have anything to build off of when we come to class. So it is extremely important that if any time is missed, any classes are missed, that the homework is kept on top of, because it is the introduction. It is the first step in mastering our topics in maths. Now, more broadly, in terms of mastering our work, we're going to need to do extra study to keep on top of what we're doing. Each topic we do in maths is going to build very directly off of the previous one. The ideas that we need to understand in one chapter are going to be used and advanced in the next chapter, much more directly than might have been the case in the past for maths, and much more directly than is necessarily the case in lots of subjects. So if we don't keep on top of each topic as we do it, then we fall behind, and it's not just the current topic that we end up struggling with, it's maths overall. So how do we keep on top of our work with a little bit of extra study? Well, we'll almost never complete all of the questions in the textbook, so there will be extra questions that we could practice there, and it's really important that when we're doing that, we go back to our video notes and make sure that we are practicing the methods that we were shown in class and the methods that we were shown in our videos, so that if we are understanding it properly so that we can build on it later. So the method is often more important than the final answer, because the method is what gets built on so that we can do more and more advanced work as we go up. If we're particularly stuck on a topic, what we can do is take the videos that we are revising and we can pause them at the very beginning. The questions will all be written on the page at the beginning of the video, and we can work through those questions ourselves. So we can have our copybook out or our mini whiteboard out, and we can write out how we think we would do those questions, go as far as we can, and then play the video and get feedback, see what the method is so that we can work through it that way. So if we're stuck on a topic, pausing the videos at the start, trying to do the questions and then playing the video through is a really good way to get our heads back into a topic and then go into doing the book questions separately. So that's the general structure. Now we're going to look at where we find our homework and our classwork information, and that's in the OneNote. Now the screen is about to get a lot brighter. So if we look at this page on our OneNote, we're looking at in the natural numbers chapter. In the natural numbers chapter, we are on the topic factors and multiples. So this is the chapter we're in. We can also see we have integers and fractions, and then we have textbook questions. So if we have any issues getting access to the textbook, we have the questions from the textbook also uploaded on the OneNote, so that there's no reason we can't access them if we run into problems with the textbook. So if we were going, we've written into our journals that we're going to do factors and multiples is the next class. Where do we find the information for what we have to have done for coming into that class? Well, the section here is called before class, and that's what we have to have done before we come to our factors and multiples class. So this is the homework for the factors and multiples class. So what we have to do is watch the video, that's the one over here, and write everything that appears on the screen, including graphs and pictures. And we have to, in our textbook, Text and Test 1, page 8, question 4, part 1 is going to be our practice homework. So in this case, there was only one part to do. Usually there will be more questions to do, but not too many. But several questions to practice our methods so that we've definitely got the idea in our head before we come to class. Then the next section down is called in class, and sensibly enough, that's what we will do in class. These are the questions that we will practice. There will also be extension questions so that we are really linking these ideas to what we have done before and setting ourselves up to be able to do more advanced work later on. But the general structure is the name of the chapter is the name of the section in our OneNote, and then the classes are named up here as well. So we start at the top with factors and multiples, and we work our way down to the end of the chapter, which will be a revision day where we will usually have an end of chapter test. So that is the general structure. If we want to watch this video for our homework, we do not press the play button here. We press the blue text up here, and that will bring us directly to YouTube. So if we click on that, we will end up going to our YouTube video. So if we click on the link, we go to factors and multiples, and from there we will be able to play the video and make sure that we understand it so that we can then build on it in class. So we'd watch that video, make sure we understood it, write down everything that appears on the screen, do our practice question, and then we're ready to come in to class. Now, if we can't find the video if we can't access our OneNote for any reason, which can sometimes happen when we're getting set up, we can also find these videos by chapter on the YouTube channel. To do that, we would just go to YouTube as normal, and we would search for Mr. Nielsen, N-I-E-L-S-E-N, and you'll be able to find the maths videos, and they almost all have a dark or a black background, so they can be easy to spot. If we go to the playlist section of Mr. Nielsen YouTube channel, we will get the names of the different chapters. If we need to, we can search our playlists, and we will be able to find the chapter that we're looking for and say here we're in first year natural numbers, so we could go to view playlist, and just like on the OneNote, these are all in the correct order, going from the beginning of the chapter to the end of the chapter, as we have on our OneNote. So if there's any problem accessing the OneNote, we can still access our videos through the Mr. Nielsen YouTube channel and going into the playlist section so that we can keep track of all of our different topics. That's also very helpful for when we want to go back and do revision. We can get all of the videos in one place. We can also get them back on our OneNote. we can just find them in the different sections of our OneNote. So that's how we can use our information in our OneNote. And now, to sum up, it is absolutely critical for this to work that the videos are not just watched passively, but fully understood and engaged with, so that when we come into class, we are able to build off of that introduction. There will obviously be more learning that we do in class, but the introduction to the idea, our beginning step, is the video and making sure that we have not only watched it, but fully understood it and its methods. The methods are going to be key, and the methods shown in the videos are the ones that must be used because they are going to build into what we need to do for more advanced work. So that is a general introduction to the structure of our maths class, and that is what we need for now.